Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Simplified, a show that explains intense topic from around the world and simplifies it for you so that you can appear cooler in front of your friends.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast. We have a special guest today, and I need to say special because special is called for those guys who don't be just coming regularly. So they do come on special occasions. So here we have Nikhil on the phone and Chiranjeet as always. Hello, Nikhil. How is it?
Hey, special बोलने का जरूरत नहीं. 2 हफ्ते में 2 बार आ चुका हूँ. So I have been here almost regularly. It's just that the stars should match.
All right. All
All
right.
right. Where are you, yaar? Are you in a fish market or something? There's so much of commotion.
No, I went to hotel in Aizol. I checked into it. I wanted to try it out, and it turns out that it's situated on a slope. Okay, so you just enter, and the reception is at the topmost floor. Yeah, and you have to walk way down, and I got the ground floor, which is way down the slope. So all the cell phone networks are blocked in my room. I cannot even make a call from my room, so I have to sit in the lobby and do the podcast. So that's why you can hear. I think, but one redeeming aspect is that I got Zonet in my room, so I can watch Mizoram Premier League highlights every night. So I'm not complaining that much.
What?
I'm thinking about it. It's not a bad place to live in, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys should all shift to Aizol. And you won't even fall this much sick because there are so many slopes that you have to walk up and down all the time. You'll be like fit in no time.
So once you reach the top and you just stay there forever, you won't want to come back.
Yeah, exactly. Land of the champions, huh?
All right. Well, we will get you updates as in the Mizoram Premier League goes on. So the most important topic that we are going to talk on today is the Palestine friendly is likely to be called off. Nikhil, is it a disappointment or is it something that we are getting used to?
I don't know whether it will be called off or not. So yesterday I was surfing through the FIFA friendlies page, and I couldn't find, I think it was on 2nd of October.
It was scheduled.
Yeah, and I couldn't find India versus Palestine. So, and it was there earlier. Okay, so since it has been removed, I don't know what the thing is because we haven't received any official confirmation on this. But looks like it, Oja, like from the past experience.
There is a good possibility of that because the FIFA website stays fairly updated on these things, and we have seen that when Lebanon pulled out the first update we got about it was through the FIFA website. So not a good sign. After you told me about it, I tried to call up some people in AIFF. Nobody would confirm or deny anything. But, if such a rumor is, and they actually said that on Twitter, some people are already speculating whether this is cancelled. And if at this stage you cannot come out and say that the match is on, it seems like there's some bad news waiting for us. So yeah, this is the second Middle Eastern country that may have pulled out of playing a friendly with us. Lebanon pulled out earlier, and now Palestine. I don't know what we're doing wrong with the Middle East, man. They just don't want to come to India, and all Indians are going to Middle East all the time. So it's one-way traffic, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a long time that India should start playing countries which are ranked around 120, 130 to really challenge its potential.
Yeah.
To move up the rankings and.
But Nikhil, you should not really complain because we'll just play Nepal again, no?
That's the most likely possibility that is going to happen.
Nepal has always given us bad times, okay? It's not that we have easily sailed through Nepal.
Yeah. No, but when it comes to like really pushing upwards in the ranking, you really need teams like Lebanon and Palestine, or even better, I think it's actually time we should start looking at Jordan and teams like that. We haven't really had a big test for the national team for a long time now. Just going by the way we played against St. Kitts, it's not very, we're not at the top of the world. Let's see, we're not even playing at the highest of our potential. And Palestine friendly was going to be, or is going to be, we're not sure yet, a game where we were really going to be tested. So I hope all this turns out to be nothing. Maybe there is some scheduling issues. Maybe it doesn't happen on 2nd October. Maybe it gets moved around, but ultimately the match happens. We'll just have to see how this turns out. But at the moment, it does not look good.
Let me put a question around this to Kevin also and to Oja. I guess today is the ranking day, FIFA ranking day. So, do you think this ranking is a pseudo, or do you think it's well justified?
Kevin, you want to take that first?
Yeah, see, we've always talked about the FIFA rankings having a lot of, some factors are very known to everybody, and that can be manipulated in some way. So, if you are likely to jump the rankings, you need to jot down what teams you need to play, because according to the teams played and the favorable results to the team that's playing, it always helps to gain a lot more points than playing a lower ranked team. So I wouldn't say totally that's you cannot that you can just put down the rankings, because it is a measure of how the team is performing. Because there was the St. Kitts team manager that was speaking. So just before the press conference of the game before India, so what he mentioned is St. Kitts and Nevis also were among the double-digit ranks a year back. But what helped them reach there was consistent play, and that was the same reason that they came down in the rankings. The reason was they played better ranked teams, and after they reached double digit, they had taken a break or something. They couldn't get friendlies for whatever reasons, because there were lots of issues getting the matches happening or even traveling to places. So that's the reason also they jumped down the ladder for not playing consistently and not playing higher ranked teams and getting favorable results. So I wouldn't just neglect the FIFA rankings, saying that they do not act as a measure of how good a team is playing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually we should start looking beyond the FIFA rankings at this point. Because see, it mattered when we were at down in the dumps, ranked 173rd. So the ranking was an insult. So we had to focus on ways to just get us in a more respectable place, which we did. We broke into the top 100, and then it became tough for us to play higher ranked teams consistently in friendlies. So and our ranking is going to take a tumble this time because of the draw against St. Kitts. We'll probably be 110, something like that. But look, it's at this point of time, I don't think the teams that are ranked around 90 to 110, they don't consider India to be that good at the moment, because they just think we took Puerto Rico, we beat them and rode that win all the way up. But we have not created or played enough matches at that level and produced results to earn that respect that yes, India is a team to be played, and you're going to get a challenge if you go to India. That just has not happened. Notice how hardly anybody calls us for an international friendly. Like, we keep calling everybody, and half of them keep declining to come. But we don't get called to, let's say, an African country to play an international friendly. What's happening with that? Should end up, when we start getting called, we will be that will show us that we are actually gaining respect. But at this point, I think we're done with the ranking. We should look beyond. It should be all about just getting into the Asian Cup. And I don't mind if we play Nepal again or Bhutan again or Sri Lanka again just as a warm-up match ahead of the Macau game, because we have to win that Macau game. Yeah. Nothing else matters. We just have to qualify for the Asian Cup. And once we are there, then we can start thinking about what the ranking is or something else. If we don't make the Asian Cup, nothing matters. So
just
forget about ranking for now.
Just the point that Chiranjeev was making about the Asian Cup. We should take a step back and try to understand the situation where the draws were put up for the Asian Cup, and that was the point where rankings came into the picture. Because when you are put into a pot with teams that you're likely to get a favorable group for yourself, that is where FIFA rankings come into play. Because had we not got a better rank at the time of the draw, we would have certainly got a much more tougher group than what we are in right now.
Yeah, exactly. So all of that goes into it, but I think the ranking issue is a bit stale now. We should just if we are there in Asian Cup, we will get some really good friendlies between 2018 March and 2019 May. We will get a good few matches, because once you're there in Asian Cup, you automatically gain that much respect. So these scheduling issues, I think, will go away once we have earned that place.
Yeah. Okay, coming to another topic. This is coming from CFL, and Chiranjeev will be all smiles because Mohun Bagan is back in the title race, and they did manage to get the better of Mohammedan Sporting, although a bit not in the best of ways. They did get a good goal, and thanks to that 2-1 victory, they are back in the hunt for the title of CFL. Chiranjeev, how was the game?
Yeah, well, the game was thoroughly enjoyable. I caught a very pixelated version of it. I just got down in ISL, and on the way in the cab, I was watching a live stream of the game. So I couldn't make out faces. I couldn't make out jersey numbers. I could just make out, okay, idhar se udhar gaya aur udhar mara. That's all I could pretty much figure out. But yeah, overall, very good game. Mohun Bagan did have a good control of it. They conceded early, then they hit the post. Then Azharuddin Malik, I think the game will be remembered for this guy. Azharuddin Malik scored against East Bengal in the I-League last season. He's already proving himself to be a big game player. He had an injury. It was his comeback game, and he scores a brace. And after the match, he's like, I feel sad because I didn't get a hat trick. So all of that, you can tell that this new young squad looks very interesting ahead of the main national season in the I-League. For now, it looks good. Mohun Bagan have got, I think, 19 points from 7 matches, and East Bengal are on 18 points from 6 matches. So East Bengal and Mohammedan Sporting are playing on Saturday. So if East Bengal win that match, there's a good chance they will be 2 points ahead of Mohun Bagan when the derby comes up.
Yeah.
And the derby will be the title decider.
Right.
So Mohun Bagan will have to win that derby to win the CFL. If East Bengal, I think that's what the scene will be. If East Bengal get a draw, they win the league. So that's the way it's going to turn out. So let's see how that goes down. I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's going to be a cracker of a game between East Bengal and Mohammedan Sporting, because Mohammedan Sporting are they're no longer in the title race, but they want to bite. It showed that they really wanted to win this one, or at least get a draw. Did not happen. They will give it all out, because it's probably going to be their last significant match before they play in the second division in November. So all eyes on that.
Yeah. All right, that was some interesting news from Kolkata, and things are getting close to going down to the wire. And on that note, we need to take a break. But then on the other side of the break, we have more news coming in from Kolkata, where FIFA officials have are present there for a meeting, and we will get you updates on that right after the break.
Hi, I'm Amit Verma, the host of the weekly podcast, The Seen and the Unseen. In my show, I examine the seen effects and the unintended consequences of public policy and private action. I show how policies meant to help the poor often end up hurting the poor. I've done episodes so far on demonetization, GST, surgical strikes, immigration and MRP. And I will continue my forensic assault on the truth in the weeks to come.
Catch the show every Monday on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you prefer. Or visit sceneunseen.in for all the latest updates.
All right, welcome back after the break. So, as we promised, we will talk about more Kolkata news, and this is at a bigger level. We talked about FIFA friendlies. Now this is again where FIFA is involved. So FIFA officials are in Kolkata, and
they
this
are not
is
friendly anymore.
So as we talked about yesterday, FIFA's got their eyes on everything, and CFL was hit by that kind of a controversy where there was an alleged match fixing scandal between Rainbow and Tollygunge. So going on that, FIFA officials are here for another reason, and this is for something for the betterment of Indian football. Chiranjeev, what have we got from the FIFA officials?
Well, our delegation of AFC and FIFA officials are in Kolkata right now. They're going to talk to three big clubs from the city, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan and Mohammedan Sporting. The topic here is the merger, obviously. They are actually doing the last-ditch attempt to sort of get it done by this month, and that's what they're doing in Kolkata right now. They'll also take a look at the Salt Lake Stadium, but that is all sort of secondary work. The main event of the day is East Bengal and Mohun Bagan officials will sit with the Asian and the FIFA delegation, and they will put forth their perspective of how the merger should happen and what their demands are, and how this ISL I-League split affects them. So, interesting. I hope some ATK people are also there in the meeting, and they also put forth their perspective on what's happening. But it's the main contention is going to be obviously the franchise fee, but I think that's also becoming less of an important thing now. Now that both the clubs are going towards multiple sponsorship, and they are likely to sort of in the end agree on that. But it's gonna be the one city, one club rule, of ATK wanting to have exclusivity over Kolkata, and East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are not ready to just get out of Kolkata, because it's a ridiculous proposition anyway. So that's what is probably going to be the major contention, and the challenge for the AFC and FIFA will be to mitigate that, mediate and convince both parties that staying in the same city and just fostering a rivalry amongst yourselves is actually better to spread football and grow all the clubs rather than just one club claiming this is our city, we will not let anybody else play from here.
So Chiranjeev, just a quick thought over here. So we are talking about the merger, that is the I-League and ISL merger. So where does Mohammedan Sporting come into the picture over here?
Well, they are also one of the major clubs. I think they've been called because they play in the second division league, and they have been sort of given some importance by FIFA because of the long presence they have had in Indian football. So you have to realize that Mohammedan Sporting also have a huge supporter presence, and recently their matches in Barasat Stadium, the ones with evening kickoffs, they have had 18,000 people turning up. So they are also a major club in the city. So they also deserve a say. And them being a second division club, I think that's one of the major points for this tour. The second division club should have a bigger say because they are the ones who are fighting to earn their place in the top division by merit. And if you have ISL becoming the new top division, which will be probably be closed league and will not have promotion relegation at least for now, that affects the second division clubs more than anything else because no matter what they do not get a channel into the top division. And then what are they playing for?
Yeah.
What glory are they chasing? So the perspective of Mohammedan Sporting, I think, will be very crucial on how this is going, at least in the long-term framework and the final decision on when we will finally see promotion relegation return to the new football structure.
Yeah. I was just coming to you, Nikhil. So we are talking about second division clubs, looking forward to at least, somewhere down the line get an entry, or at least look forward to the progress of their own club to a higher division, and that becomes the topmost division. So wouldn't it be a good idea that the Goan clubs are also spoken to, because they are the ones who had first voiced their opinion about the alleged promotion relegation and the ISL that came along and tried to disrupt the system that was going on very well in India. So would it be a good idea that the Goan clubs, or at least the clubs who have been in the country for a very long time, are also spoken to?
In fact, every second division club should get a chance to be. See, we have been through this discussion, time and time again, and it's a problem in the future of Indian football that second division clubs won't get a chance to play in the top division, at least for a few years. But then I guess we have to make up with it, because that's going to be the reality. So at least till the time the whole stakeholder domain decides to let's have entries from second division. Till that time, I mean, itna discussion karke bhi kuch nahi hoga. So, but my question to Chiranjit, why is FIFA getting into all this? I mean, it's a headache of the federation. Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know why.
Do anything.
So why? I mean, FIFA should only give ultimatums to the federation that, boss, get this thing done. Otherwise, you're whatever. You're penalized. You're debarred. Whatever it is. Why are they coming to Kolkata and talking? I mean, in terms of FIFA, Mohun Bagan, East Bengal are not that huge. Okay, because they have seen the best of all over the world. Okay, so I mean, they could have been there for under-17 World Cup stadium inauguration वगैरह कुछ तो रहेगा for that also. Why would they talk to clubs like East Bengal, Mohun Bagan and Mohammedan Sporting?
Yeah, they're doing this all over the country. They're not just talking to these Kolkata clubs. They're actually going to Goa, going to Maharashtra. They've already been to Delhi once, and they will go to Punjab as well. Even Minerva Punjab is getting their say. So it's not like it's just East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. They're talking to everybody. And I think the reason FIFA has had to step in is because कितने दिन से चल रहा है ये? Ever since ISL has come along, we've heard the possibility of a merger or a restructure of football. Then the main plan came out in 2015, I think, and we've been 2 साल हो गया यार. So say there was an AFC joint task force that was set up. Even that failed to come up with a solution, because you leave it to AIFF. Everybody wants to dominate AIFF. Okay, the East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have their own ways to try and manipulate. The Goan clubs have their own ways to try and manipulate AIFF. IMG Reliance is bossing over AIFF. So AIFF, I don't think, has that power or that competence to really make everybody sit down on a table and say, okay, this is how we're going to do it. These are the proposals. Now you give your suggestions. We'll add and subtract to and from it. And then we will decide. I think there was that major problem regarding who's the boss again when East Bengal and Mohun Bagan were saying that we don't want to talk to IMG Reliance because AIFF is the federation. We will, and we're playing in the top division. We're talking about the Indian league football structure. So we should only talk to AIFF. Why is all of this proposal and everything coming from IMG Reliance? So all that, there was no structured hierarchy. I mean, you're talking about implementing a structure in league football. If you don't have a structure in the administration, then where is that going to come from? So FIFA is one agency who is obviously above everybody else. So I think this is a last stage attempt. They are doing this because they don't want to be in a situation where they have to take a call on debarring India, because obviously India is their biggest growing market right now. They want 1 billion new fans and expansion of the game. So they don't want it to come to that. That's why they are stepping in and talking directly to the clubs. I really hope they actually make it happen, because it doesn't seem anybody else can actually just sit down and do it. But even when AFC, remember when AFC called that all stakeholder meeting in Kuala Lumpur? Yeah. A couple of I-League clubs showed up to voice their opinions. The ISL teams didn't say anything. They had a meeting in London before that, and there were two representatives of IMG Reliance who spoke for all the ISL teams. That's not direct communication. That's not proper open forum. If you have two people representing 8 or 9 or 10 of the most crucial stakeholders in Indian football, then what do? If they're not going to come to Kuala Lumpur and voice their opinions, then FIFA and AFC have to come to them and sit them down and say, okay, what do you think?
But Chiranjit, if you just try to understand what Nikhil mentioned, is this cannot be a babysitting job for FIFA to take care of AIFF. It has to be given those norms, and it has to be given those deadlines, and the structure needs to be coming from the top down, not from the way other way around.
But is AIFF at the top? We don't even know that.
But so again, see how long will FIFA do this? How long can FIFA do this?
They will have to do it by this month. Everything will have to come to an end this month because they want the medium and long term plans to be decided before the Under-17 World Cup happens. Because when you have journalists from all over the world coming to India and they will be asking around about Indian club football, they should not get that impression that the country that is being pushed and highlighted by FIFA so much that they're getting to host a world competition, they even don't have the league football sorted out yet. So everything that's the plan to get everything done this month. September 2017, it all ends. वो Harry Potter 7 का part 2 वाला poster डाल दो इससे.
That's a great point that Chiranjit mentioned. Yes, FIFA will be, put up to questions regarding the league structure and what is the way forward, because it's no secret that what's happening in Indian football is not the ideal situation for anyone. Yes, so that's it. That's a wrap for today's edition. A lot of FIFA involved in our discussion, and hopefully we get some great solution that at least stabilizes Indian football going forward, and that's the way we look up to Indian football as the ideal situation. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, do not forget to like, share, subscribe. IVM Podcast is the app that you would like to download from iOS and Android, where you can get a lot of other shows like TFG Indian Football. Also, if you're listening to us on SoundCloud and iTunes, so do check out. Do let us know via comments of anything you would like us to discuss. Till another episode, guys. See you. Bye.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through ATKT.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. ATKT.in.
एक्सक्यूज मी भैया, एक्सक्यूज मी.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, ड्रिंक्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर जकरबर्ग है और द फैन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप. सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.